All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Just to remind you, please, after you watch the video, please share it everywhere because you might not find it later in my channel. To be sure that everybody is downloading and sharing. Today, our topic is the same as a series we decided to do. It's called While Jesus, What Muhammad Was Doing. So today, our topic is about while Jesus was healing the blind, what Muhammad did to the blind. Always when we discuss an issue, we discuss it from authentic source. However, I'm using the video here is just to make the story simple, but if you read the story, you read it from the Bible, not from a movie, just to make it sure and make it clear. Before we continue, there's somebody posting a text saying, please don't post that Jesus was white. I mean, if you are a stupid racist, get lost and don't watch my videos. Nobody saw him white except you, because you are racist, obviously. When I speak to a black man, I don't see him black. I see him as a human being. He is my brother or my sister in Christ. So if you are a racist, scumbag, get out of here. You have no place in Christianity. Christians don't see Jesus white or black. Jesus for all. And when you say he was African, this is because you are stupid. Because Jerusalem, Israel, is not in Africa, in case you do not know. Secondly, who care what is his color? Let us say Jesus was Asian. Still he will be Jesus, and we will worship him. We don't want foolish people to be around us. If you are a racist, go and convert to Islam. This is the religion of the white people, where Muhammad insulted the black people everywhere. Even he considered the black dog is the devil just because he's black. So if you are a racist, go join the KKK of Muhammad. There's no KKK in Christianity, and they don't belong to Jesus. Just to make it simple. Associate yourself with the smart people, you live a smart life. Associate yourself with donkeys, you learn how donkeys talk. As simple as that. Now let us go and see what Jesus was doing with the blind and what Muhammad was doing with the blind. We start with Jesus. I will go to the beginning so we see what the story was about.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on?
Jesus of Nazareth is passing by.
Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Son of David, have mercy on me!
What do you want me to do for you?
I want to see again.
Then see. Your faith has made you well.
I can see. I can see. I can see.
All right. So this is what Jesus did to the blind man. And you notice here the blind man is not asking for money, is not begging for food, as he was just a minute ago. When he come to Jesus, he asked him to see, not for a sandwich, which is not normal, because why he think Jesus, he can make him see? For a very simple reason, for his name is known that he is the one who can do amazing miracles. In the same time, if we go and see what Muhammad did to the blind man, in chapter 80 verse number 1, this chapter is called the chapter of Abasa. Abasa in Arabic, it's mean he gave him, you know, like bad face. But he gave a bad face to who? he gave a bad face to the blind man. And this is the Muslim translation, as you see, that Muhammad, when a blind man came to him asking for guidance, which means he want to convert to Islam, he have a questions if Islam is good for him. What Muhammad did to him? He gave him a very bad face. He was angry from him and he kicked him away. In order to understand what happened, I'm not going to explain it to the Muslim. They will say, oh, he's lying to you. We are going to show you what the Muslim themselves they say about this incident from their own mouth. If we go to Ibn Kathir, this is the Muslim website, not my website, just to let you know. I have nothing to do with it. Ibn Kathir, QuranX.com. It says here the story about a guy, his name Ibn Maktum. Maktum is the name of a woman, so which means here this guy, his name is Maktum. So this man, he came, he began asking the Prophet about something urgently. It's urgent. He want to know. The Prophet hoped that the man would be guided, so he asked Ibn Maktum to wait for a moment. Look at the Muslims' deception. To wait for a moment, that's not what the Quran is saying. And then he says, so he could complete his conversation with the Ford in his face. Where this story is coming from, there's no source. There's no source that says that he asked him to wait. And we will prove it to you. It says, he phoned and turned away. You see, if the man he's asking, if Muhammad is asking the man to wait, why it says here he phoned and he turned away? He already answered him. He did not phone and turn away. If he already told him to wait, which means the story here have a fabrication. Because there has come to him a blind. And how can you know that might become a pure? So Allah saying to Muhammad, a guy, he came to you and he want to be pure, supposedly. He want to convert to Islam. So why you are not giving him the attention? And or maybe he received like a guidance, all right? So that will profit him. And then he says, you know, and as for him who think himself sufficient, to him you attended. Meaning you face the rich person so that perhaps they may be guided. So Muhammad, this is the whole story. Muhammad was busy with a bunch of rich people, and Muhammad don't care for the Arab guy. Here in this story, we will notice the discrimination, because some they say that this guy, he might be a black person, and he is Muhammad giving attention to the white rich men. Some they say that this guy was a slave and he was a black person, but we cannot confirm anything of that. However, whoever he is, he might be black, he might be white, he might be a slave, he might be free. That will not change anything. Muhammad is facing a problem. There's a rich people he want to convert to Islam, and there is who don't want to convert to Islam. They don't like Islam at all. And there's a guy already he like to convert to Islam, but he is having some questions. Which one you think is more important, the one who is almost converting, or the one who don't want Islam and hate Islam? Muhammad, he cared for the rich person who hate Islam. And then the Quran continues supposedly telling Muhammad why you did that, and you should do the opposite. You should not you know, you should give him a guidance he asking for. Meaning he is asking for seeking you, and he comes to you so that he might be guided by what you say to him. So why Muhammad don't have time to say to the blind man something? You see, if Muhammad trying to convert the rich ones to Islam by saying to that person something nice, something good about God, all of them, they will hear it. Is Islam is a private message to rich ones? Is going to be different message to the poor one? Obviously yes. And this is exactly what Muslims they do. When the Muslim they speak to someone who's a black African, they speak about the white man enslaving them, etc. But when they speak to a white man, they never mention the slavery. So depend who you are, Islam come to you. If you are a Hindu, they speak to you differently. If you are a male, they speak to you differently. If you are white, if you are black, Islam is a snake which change its color depend in the situation. So here Allah suppose is saying to him, why you neglect him? I mean, why you did that to him? Well, you know, you are too busy with who? Too busy with the rich ones. Now what happened here? Simple, very simple. Muhammad is busy with the rich ones, and Muhammad, he said to himself, and I will show you what Muhammad said to himself, because you see here Ibn Kathir trying to defend Muhammad badly, but he did not succeed. If we go to this is the official government website of the government of Jordan. All right, if we go, there's a book, it's called Asbab al-Nuzul. Asbab al-Nuzul mean the reason for the verses to come down, which is mean what behind the verse, what happened exactly. All right, so here you will find a story about this person and what happened. So Muhammad, he said to himself, read carefully with me please. Sign of annoyance appeared in the face of the prophet of the messenger of Allah. Bless him and give him peace, because of being repeatedly interrupted. He said to himself, look what Muhammad said to himself. Now the story is coming clear. Muhammad said to himself, not the guy. So he said to himself, or let me make the screen so you guys can read the whole text. All right, so he said to himself, these the chief will say. Muhammad is worried now, if he speak to the blind man, what the chief will say. His followers consist of only the blind, the lowly people, and the slave. And this what make me think that mostly this guy is a black slave. So Muhammad, he's saying to himself, if I talk now to this black slave, or this slave, or this blind man, the chief, they will say that Muhammad, his followers, or the one who interested in his religion, is only, let us say, the lowest of the people, slaves. You know, I mean, he's a slave. I mean, what do you think? Hello. So Muhammad is worried about what the chief will say, and that is telling us that Muhammad, his worry confirm what kind of mentality he have, because he is the one who is calling those people the lowly people and the slaves and the blind. You see, those rich people, they never said anything about this. They didn't say, hey, listen, your followers are the slaves. Actually, in different hadith, they said to him that your followers are the outlaw, the gang, and I showed it to you before. But here Muhammad is worried, and his worry consists with one thing, that the followers of me, they will appear as if they are only a blind man, a slave, a homeless person, maybe a poor person, maybe. So he is worried. He said to himself, not the people, they said. Now ask yourself, when Jesus stopped with the blind man and he healed the blind man, this blind man is a beggar for food. I mean, until now, if you live in the Middle East, you live a very horrible life if you are a blind man, unless you have a family to support you. So Jesus did not say to the blind man, you are the lowly, you are the slave, you are the poor, you are trash, you are nothing, you are no one. No. Jesus said to him, what do you want from me? He did what he wanted from him too. Muhammad, not only ignoring the man, not only he is humiliating him by ignoring him, he actually kicked him out. And what happened after Muhammad, he kicked out the man, those rich people themselves, they said to themselves, what kind of manner this person he have? You see, Muhammad was worried that those chief, they will don't like him because he is speaking kindly to a blind man, because the one who follow him is the lowly people and the slaves and the blind people. So now he want to show them, no, I don't care for those people. I care for the rich ones, the chief, they belong to my religion. But then after he did that, those chief, they went out and they start talking about the behavior of Muhammad. What kind of a man, what kind of a manner he have. And because of that, Muhammad, he created this chapter saying that Allah, he rebuked me for such a behavior. And the question here, Muhammad always he get an answer from Allah immediately. How come Allah did not tell him don't do that? I mean, why Allah did not inspire him before he do the action to do so, to be kind to the blind man? How come Allah have a verse ready for Muhammad that any woman she want to give herself to the Prophet so he can sleep with her? Allah have verse for Muhammad when the Jewish man asked him 3 things no prophet knows except a prophet. No one knows except a prophet about the heaven. Right away Jibreel told him, he said, Jibreel just now told me. How come Jibreel just now did not tell him, hey, don't say that, don't do that to the guy? Can't Allah read the mind of Muhammad, correct him before he do the act? So here Muhammad, after being exposed, he decide to fix it, to fix his reputation. The same as he did with the satanic verses. After he recited the satanic verses saying that the 3 daughters of Allah, it's a must to worship them, he decided to say, well, Allah, he sent me a verses saying that Shaitan put that in my mouth. Is Shaitan is the one who put that in the mouth of Muhammad, in the face of Muhammad, to make him fawn away from a blind man, insulting the blind people? And the statement here, when your prophet said, he said to himself, these the chief will say his followers consist of the only blind, lowly people and slaves. What's wrong with that? Who are the followers of Jesus? Fishermen, normal people, poor people. He did not grab the rich, the wealthy. This is the difference between Jesus and Muhammad for today. Please download the video and share it with your friends, and don't forget to leave your comment in the video text. Doesn't matter what channel is going to be in, and I encourage all the Christians to download those videos and share them with everybody. A prophet who cannot be nice even to the blind one, he cannot be a prophet. A prophet who favored the chief, the rich over the poor, he cannot be a prophet. A prophet, his interest and his worry is not about what is good manner is. His worry is only about what the chief will say, what the rich people will say, what Bill Gates will say, what Trump will say. You know, he is worried about them. He is not worried about what is right and what is wrong. He is not worried about saving a soul. And actually, a blind man, he deserves more mercy than the rich man. He is a blind man coming to the house of Muhammad all the way, going back to his house. God knows how hard it is in this desert. The rich men, they have servants, they have a slave, they are wearing nice clothes. This person, he cannot even afford for his bread to come to see you. Yet Muhammad, he favored the rich ones over the blind poor man, and that is a very bad behavior for somebody the Muslims claim that he is the best of mankind. Thank you very much for listening. Please share the video. Christ is Lord, Islam is false, and see you soon again. Bye-bye. Thank you.